So what do you think about all these new websites that are trying to say they're going to promote you and help you as a band? What do you think about them? Like, there's ones that are popping out everywhere, like copycatting every other website that's popular. What do you think about that?
Well, everybody needs to do something, and everybody trying to find ways to make money, and there's a lot of people who just like, I think they're not inventive enough, and they just like copy those kind of sites to put like their own, but there's a lot of those sites in other countries, and because here for now with us living in Montreal, it's all about like MySpace. MySpace is everything, and like for me, I don't know a lot of other sites where I'll go when I want to find like music that I don't know, like just like look at random bands, and for me there's only like MySpace, or maybe sometimes YouTube, that's it. But well, those other sites, I think.
Do you think they're a gimmick, or they're just trying to steal off other people's popularities?
Well, it depends. It could depends like the site itself. If they're trying really hard to put like a lot of advertisement, and they're not giving you like a good service and a good player and a good way to put your music in a good like you know, like a good front, a good face, let's say. Well, I think it's not in our advantages, and then well, fuck.
Advantage.
It's not in our advantage to go there and put our music there. But like you said, like if those sites would
because you gotta be just as careful, because there's people out there willing to take advantage of you and saying they're helping you and they're not. So like if you sign up to a website that sells your music, you gotta read that small print. I will tell you, as a manager, I have told many bands I've managed, what the hell are you doing signing up for that site? Like, why? Did you read the small print? It says you are only allowed to be on one site to sell your music online. And if you sign up to another site, you're in breaking a contract, which means fees. Next thing, you're being sued by the site because you put your music on another download site.
Some of them take the rights.
And they take your rights, yes.
Well, I think that sucks. Yeah. That shouldn't be allowed.
That's another reason why people are not signing up for the download sites, is because they're saying, well, Reverb Nation says, well, you want to sign up for download, or do you want to give your music for free? And people say for free. Because they're like, no, I'm not getting into that contract agreement. And everything in being in a band is about contracts.
Yes.
Contract with the venue, contract with your producer, contract with each other, contract with everything, you know. And that's the one thing you really have to look out for as a band, is contracts. And when you have someone who manages you, they will look out for those things. But if you don't have someone who does that, you gotta know that yourself to look for. And somebody might say, yeah, we really like you, you're great, but you've got to take a step back and say, okay, I think that's great, thank you, I'll think about it, and then sit down and really investigate and research what is going on, instead of like the first person who says you're great. And another thing I have a theory about is, you let people come to you. You don't go begging for people to help you and promote you. You let them come to you. You know why? Because later down the road, you'll be like kicking themselves because they didn't give you that respect. And there's a lot of respect that has to be in the music business for you guys to respect others and to respect what you love.
And I think there's a lot of bands who just want to go too fast, like you were saying. Well, me with my 4 years with Exterior, we heard a lot of stories of a French band who ended up getting like really fucked because their manager weren't like
screwed.
Yeah, they got screwed because their manager weren't serious enough, weren't professional enough. They were spending money for no reason, and like a lot of money. Me, I remember when I was touring with them, when we used to go like just put gasoline. Like the gas would cost maybe like 80 bucks on the bus, but it ended up with a bill of like 250 bucks in a fucking dépanneur, let's say, in how do you call dépanneur? Like
corner store.
A corner store, like in a corner store, because everybody was just like taking everything. Like it was like free for all. We were going there, and everybody was getting like me. I was getting like 1 pack of cigarettes on the band's arm, like fucking cheese, you know, like those kind of funky cheese in Quebec, and it always costs like $10 for a fucking handful, and
There's too much F words.
oh, maybe yeah, but so it was. We had a lot of abus, excess, and there's a lot of bands like this who can control themselves too, and we heard like stories of. There was that band, Nick should be here because he remembered those stories better than I, but it was a Quebec band and their manager were really, he ended up stealing all their money, everything. They were touring in shitty buses, like fucking minivans, and it was really hard for them. They weren't like barely making money, and it was a really good band. It was called Vilain Pingouin, and all the Quebec people know this band. It's like a 90s
Oh yeah, I
band.
remember that.
And they were doing good music. Like they sold maybe like 100,000 albums. Let's say they did like really good stuff, but their manager stole everything.
Les Bébés, the same thing.
Yeah, exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And so no, you have to be careful. You have to read carefully what you're gonna be signing. And like us, we're actually producing our second song today. We did the first song, only the drum and the bass though, and we're at the second song today.
So what are the plans of when the whole thing is going to come out and be released so people can hear it?
Well, now we're gonna take those 5 songs, and maybe like 2 months is gonna be done, and we're gonna put that on MySpace. Then eventually 5 more will come, and then another 5 will come. And
You're gonna do a gig?
yeah, we'll try as soon as we're gonna be ready. We're gonna have like around like an hour to play, 45 minutes, an hour to play. We're gonna start doing shows and gigs, and
Yeah, because the
we'll
song
try
structures
hard.
are changing in the studio as
Yes.
they write them. So after they're done, they're going to play them, actually cover their own songs.
Because now it's more like a pre-production we're doing. It was really basic and simple what we did so far. So just by coming here, it's putting like everything together. We're getting like those punches that we didn't thought about, and no. So I guess we're gonna do like this. We're gonna work out our songs at home, then bring them here when it's gonna be like kind of ready. He's gonna put everything together, and then we'll go make gigs and trying to be the biggest rock band in the history.
So who is the biggest rock band in history?
For us,
Pour moi, c'est Pink Floyd. Pour lui, c'est Metallica.
we had that
Metallica.
Metallica. Just because Metallica, because I was saying that well, for my opinion, they sold they sold more albums than anyone else with all their albums, and they were able to reach such a huge fan base. So there's like the metal people kind of like not like Metallica, but they still will listen to them and like accept Metallica and Metal Zone, and rock people will like them, and even like soft people like my mom would like few songs of Metallica, and so that's why it's my point. But his point is good too. Like Pink Floyd was a really amazing band, was a great band, was one of the biggest band, and actually Pink Floyd will still be heard of in like hundreds of years, I'd say. But Metallica, maybe not, maybe less.
Gene Simmons out here.
Simmons.
I hate Gene Simmons.
And there's Gene Simmons.
What's your biggest band
don't
of
know.
history?
Metallica probably, but there's so many good bands in the 90s,
90s.
like Rage Against the Machine and
Yeah.
Nirvana,
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
like that.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So what's your guys' website link?
Website link is gonna be myspace.com/Augustwelfth with 1T. And Kimi Rock.
And
Oh, you gotta do better than that. Come on.
Ok, 1, 2, 3, Kimi Rock.
Woo!